Alright. Everybody should start with, I believe it's 1 void point.
Yes, sir.
So even if you used your void point last session, you should start with 1 this session. It might even be something like half rounded up, but my brain is not functioning too well this morning, so... see what happens. Alright. We all good to go and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Surely.
Everything's so bright.
Ah, the light hurts.
It does. Is there no picture here? No, that's disappointing. Oh, there it is.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I don't know why. I'm gonna have. Give me 1 second here. Dynamic lighting off. Keeps doing that for some of the stuff. It keeps turning the lighting on, and then I don't have you guys with tokens on there because it's just like a background, and then it's can't see anything. Okay. So you guys still traveling on the road. Took forever. You're about 1 day away. You should be able to get there by the end of the day tomorrow. A little late, but not enough to, probably warrant too much in the way of repercussions. And one night, as you all settle around the fire to eat your evening meal, you slowly realize that your number has increased by 1. The ghostly visage of Doji Samutsi. Hold on 1 second. Setsume sits among you, staring into the fire as unperturbed as your companions before they noticed his presence. Once again, his stern face suggests that he intends to assign you a task. He appears even clearer now than he was in Tsuma, as though he is slowly nearing completion of his mission here in the realm of mortals. Satsumi thanks you for protecting Hitoshi in Tsuma and ensuring he completed the tournament. He then charges you with his full request. Ensure that the matter of my death is resolved in a way that brings no shame upon or retribution against my family.
Mm-hmm.
We're certainly do our best if there's something that can be ascertained. Would you like some tea?
No, thank you. He's just kind of giving all of you a look of authority, like this is a commandment that he sort of expects to be followed, and at the same time, you see, like, a bit of pleading in his eyes.
So with words like those, we assume that it was not natural causes that took him from us.
The dead Emerald Champion does not know the circumstances surrounding his demise, and he cares little about whether he was murdered or who, if anyone, was responsible for his death. He only insists that his family suffer no shame for it, and to a lesser extent, the same for the office of the Emerald Champion. Tenets he insists he always followed while acting as Emerald Champion, and all for the continued survival of Rokugan and its peoples. Setsumi, his stern face flickering in the fire, turns to each of you and nods, entrusting you with this mission. The firelight illuminates the grotesque scar running down the side of his face, down into his mouth, revealing why in life people called him the Grinning Crane. Slowly, he fades into the darkness.
Could you break it down what he said one more time? I feel like I might have misheard something here or there.
He basically said he wants you to make sure that his death does not bring any retribution or shame upon his family or the office of the Emerald Champion. He doesn't care how he died. He doesn't know how he died. He doesn't care. Just as long as his family's okay. And to a lesser extent, the office that he left.
Investigate a murderer. Sounds fun. Hopefully it's not one of his own family members. Then we wouldn't be able to fulfill his request.
He didn't technically ask you to investigate the murder. He just wants you to make sure that nothing happens to his family.
Oh, okay. So go check in on him. That's cool. Yeah, sure. We can go check in on the kids' report cards and he was the Emerald Champion. Where was he from?
How do you
What
mean?
clan was he?
Crane.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you guys, the Emerald Champion, what's the matter?
I'm laughing because my thought was looking at Kashimara and go, "What'd you do?"
Do it.
Tail.
Your son is down here.
You guys would know, probably not necessarily through, like, any direct contact or anything, but the Emerald Champion is, like, the sort of right hand of the Emperor sort of thing, so, in charge of interpreting and enforcing the laws of Rokugan, so, he was a very strict, Emerald Champion. There were a lot of people that did not particularly care for his style of rulership, so his wife died not too long before he did, and there were, you know, sort of the whispers of court that his sort of bearing sort of drove her to an early grave. The exact details of that, you know, it's all rumors and, you know, courtly intrigue sort of thing.
If it's a coincidence with the place we were going to, we were heading towards the. I keep wanting to say Emerald Empire, but I know it's not right. But the palace.
Yeah. Well, here, let's just. Alright. The Castle of the Emerald Champion. You guys arrive. Later in the day. The castle is bustling with chaos as servants, soldiers, bureaucrats, and magistrates march past in all directions on urgent business. You overhear a passing courtier muttering, "I heard that Doji Samutse left the castle quite in disarray." It is obvious that in the wake of Satsumi's death, Agasha Sumiko, the acting Emerald Champion, is trying to fulfill her new duties while also continuing her duties as Ruby Champion, keeping her and the rest of the inhabitants of the castle extremely busy.
It's quite a lot for one person to have on their plate.
Listening to the description of these duties makes me regret doing what I did.
What did you do?
With the whole Emerald Champion thing going, I don't know if I want any of that. Any of it.
You're Topaz
Probably wasn't
Champion.
as good as you thought it would be.
Well, I'm just saying, I just if it goes up as you know, no thank you. You
Well,
have your pretty armor back.
it would be quite a, yeah. I wouldn't worry about that quite yet. After you have waited for what feels like hours, finally, a Dragon Bushi passes the entrance hall and notices you. He gives you his name as Kitsuki Kage. Sumiko's personal assistant, and asks if you are the new trainees Sumiko is expecting. Unfortunately, your lack of punctuality starts your relationship with him on seriously strained terms. Kage blames you for placing more burdens on Sumiko's shoulders, not to mention his own, with your lack of foresight and responsibility. He begrudgingly leads you to your rooms in the visiting magistrate's quarters, obviously giving you the least comfortable of the accommodations. I don't remember what that little Kagi? Little thing over it. Say Kagi. Hurries you through a tour of the rooms, tersely explaining your training schedule in vague terms. He fails to mention when and where the training will take place before vanishing.
Thank you.
So you guys are now at the castle. Your rooms are all right near each other, so
Oh, fun.
I was putting together the traveling pack list because I had it half done and it erased it, so I had to redo it quick. That is a big ass building.
I feel like training time and place would be most important information.
Anyone by chance in the quarters with us?
there's a few like servants and stuff. They seem to be getting other rooms like in order for other guests, that sort of thing. Like there doesn't seem to be any other like samurai or any higher ranking people around.
Well, ask a servant.
As you approach one of the servants, he does a very deep bow. Yes, what can I help you with, Lord?
I seek information about our exact stipulations for our training. Who would I speak to about that?
Well, honestly, Lord, Lord, Kagi should inform you of that. I know that training is usually held after breakfast. I would assume in the dojo. What, training are you here for? If you don't mind my asking.
Me and my compatriots are to become emerald magistrates.
Ah. Hmm. Yes, I do know that most of the training is in the morning. Where exactly? I mean, you'd be going. I would assume that Lord Kage would let you know before you're supposed to be there. That's.
Thank you. Give a slight bow.
He bows deeper and walks off, continuing his work, going into one of the other rooms around the corner.
Share, with the group. Yeah. As far as we can gather from that, not very helpful, but, after breakfast.
Good to know it's after breakfast.
I'm sure we should meet some other samurai during breakfast that we can inquire within.
This is true. Is there anyone actively doing anything, business around town? Like, both the time of day,
It's getting into the evening hours. As you guys are standing around talking, about an hour goes by, and then Kagi comes back around the corner, saying that he's going to take you to the Ruby Champion.
Oh, excellent. Kage, you got a bit of schmutz right there. Before we meet Miss Ruby, please. Samurai that uses Yiddish terms, why not?
Schmutz. Yeah, hey, you know. Sorry, guys. As he takes you to meet with the Ruby champion, acting Emerald champion, he does explain that the training takes place over 3 days, and it's usually the first half of the day after breakfast. After your training, you'll have most of the rest of the day to yourselves to do with as you will, but you're expected to be at your training where you're supposed to be for that day's training. The first day is in the Court of Judgment. The second day is for weapons at the Ruby Dojo, and the last day's training for law is in the Room of Law.
Straightforward.
He does ask also, have you spoken to your clan representatives yet? I gave you time. I assumed you would do that.
That would be,
I'm afraid.
What's that now?
Oh, go ahead.
I'm afraid that not fully versed in the laws of the higher courts.
It is probably something that you will want to do before you get settled in. It is customary to check in case there's any clan interests that need to take place. Let your higher-ups know where you're at and all that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Always check in with your higher-ups upon first entry.
I'm honored by your polite suggestion to our informal misgivings.
I am here to serve. As he leads
May
you...
I?
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I don't know if you are the one to be informed, but on our travels here, we did run across ogres and goblins on the merchant trail.
Oh, indeed. And you see... He's like, yeah, that's why you were late. Like, he's got sort of that, like, oh, yeah. Stuck behind a bus. You know? Stabbed in the leg with a knife.
Actually,
Kung Fu Masters. Independence Day.
bird lady.
He's like, well, I would pass that on to Sumiko and let her know, and we'll investigate. Perhaps when you're finished your training, you can investigate this
Very well.
goblins and trolls and wargs and oni on the merchant trail that caused you to be almost a full day late. Oddly, Agasha Sumiko does not want to meet you officially in the audience hall, as is the usual protocol for new magistrates beginning their orientation and training. Instead, Kagi merely walks you through the audience hall, pointing out the strangeness in the change. Although he does not question or criticize her blatantly, Kagi does appear puzzled that Sumiko would hold this meeting in her private quarters.
Your private quarters. What, all of us?
Yes, all of you.
Thank goodness. Quick question.
Yeah.
I was sure asking the fellow.
Oh,
So,
okay.
would you know where our representatives are currently residing at in the castle grounds, so we can meet with them post haste?
Yes, once you are finished your meeting, I will point the way to you. But the Ruby Champion awaits, so
Can't keep her waiting. Okay.
I've already kept her waiting long enough. Go, go, go.
Can I?
Yes.
Okay, bye-bye.
I love an asshole, I swear to God, but can I use this handy little shoot I never thought I'd ever get to use called Weight of Duty? Try to get this guy to maybe get off our asses a little bit for being late. I can make a social skill check and spend advantages to kind of lean them away or learn about them specifically by saying something along the lines of let me see. So, finally, kind of getting aggravated with the way he's talking. It's like, Gi Bushido states, set lies aside. The samurai does not make honesty or justice a matter or debate. We were late for a reason.
Okay.
Were we meant to just leave creatures behind? Would you?
Yeah, go ahead. Damn. I always forget the
Oh,
NPC
that's
sheets
right.
don't have the sheets on them. And this is like a technique that you have?
Yeah, it's in the techniques called Weight of Duty, Shuji. When you make a social skill using the Earth ability. So let me see, social. What do you think? Courtesy?
Yeah, that's what I was leaning towards. Maybe command if you're sort of trying to
Oh, no.
chastise him a little bit, but that might not go so well.
Yeah, no, that's.
It's alright. Where's this thing at?
I can get away with being a smartass to my boss because I'm funny about it.
TN on this is actually going to be
Oh, my bad.
3.
Unfortunately, I fail at that. I have 2 successes, and I'll take that advantage to knock out that setback, but I still fail.
Advantage and setback.
Oh, that's it. And it's right here on the character sheet. I have no fucking opportunity and strife. My bad. One moment while
Well,
I adjust my monocle and top.
You do not have to keep the dice if you don't want to, so you could just keep the opportunity so that even though you don't if you're not going to succeed, you could just not take any of the successes and just take the opportunity or something. It's
Okay. Here, I'll keep the success. I don't fail all the way. It just makes me feel better about myself. And the 2 advantages, so he doesn't think I'm being a prick about it.
Yeah. You get the
Nerd
get
just
the-
quoting shit at him. Look at this
you
asshole
get the
just
feeling
graduated.
that he still doesn't necessarily believe you, but he starts to believe that you believe. You know what I mean? He's probably thinking it was some you know, boars or something that you guys have never seen before, and it's like, yeah, goblins, okay, like, yeah, fine. Like, he believes that something, like, you're not wholeheartedly lying, but you're probably, like, he thinks you're probably exaggerating or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, he definitely softens a bit, but not as much as you had hoped.
Should have brought that head with us.
Oh, that. Okay. It's like, sir. My apologies.
Sumiko welcomes you as you enter and dismisses Kage. He does not look pleased at not being invited to stay, but, you know, just sort of lets out a almost inaudible, like, as he walks out. She probably wouldn't have noticed or doesn't care. It's good to meet you again. We met at the tournament, if you recall.
Yes. It's wonderful to see you again.
Bow appropriately to her status.
She returns the bow. I don't know if we went over this before. I thought we did, but I could be misremembering. You were all given gifts to give to her on your arrival. Which, after declining twice customarily, she finally accepts. They're all quite impressive, including rare spices, colorful origami paper, a crimson sash, and even a tiny little dragon carved from jade from the Crab Clan. After accepting the gifts, how was your journey to the castle?
Eventful.
Precisely.
Eyebrow raises. How so? Oh,
We were ambushed and dealt with that and dispatched the men involved, turned them over to authorities, and then we came across a rather interesting collection of goblins being led by an ogre on the merchant's path.
oh. Well, I will assign some other magistrates to look into this immediately. That is quite concerning. However, I have more important immediate matters that concern you. She glances about the room as if checking for one last time that no one else is here. Your displays of honor and courage at the Topaz Championship, I believe, will make you fine Emerald Magistrates. I now call upon your abilities for another matter, one of vital importance both to myself and the Empire. There has already been one investigation into the death of Doji Samutse, Satsume. Sorry, it's trying times. The Emerald Champion. The investigation concluded that he died of natural causes. Unfortunately, this has not put the matter to rest, however. So, I'm asking you to conduct a secret investigation to settle this matter to my satisfaction. He was found dead at the foot of the stairs leading to his private rooms at the top of the palace's main tower. Healers were called in to attend him, but his body was already cold. They were unable to detect any wound or poison and determined the death was due to natural causes. He was of an age and worked himself very hard, but he was, by all accounts, very strong-willed, so there are still rumors that fly about that this was not from natural causes. Unfortunately, his body was cremated soon after his death, as is custom. So we can't investigate that any further. Again, I implore you to keep this investigation secret. I have not announced my views on the subject. I await your findings.
It's not a deserve. We're certainly good at keeping secrets, stares at Kage.
She, you catch her, making a quick glance at, your bracers, and, yes, some better than others, I believe. Kage. That was directed at you, sorry.
Oh, no. Standing,
I know you know, I didn't know if I wanted to make sure, you know, nobody thought.
I know that you know. Did you know that I know that you know?
continue to standing rigid, at listening, and I don't think they're called Eta. I think they're called Bonge. The butchers, or Bonge, that would be in charge of touching the dead body and moving it out of the grounds. Are they still alive?
Is everyone that was employed at the castle at the time, though is still employed here, though we did have some comings and goings of some people, but no one of import. It's the center of imperial law, and we can't exactly hold people here for weeks at a time, especially when an official investigation has already taken place and nothing was discovered, so.
Excuse me, Agasha-san. Is there by chance anyone who's still here who had a lot of personal contact with the previous champion by chance? Maybe an assistant or anything that you might be able to talk to?
Like the old man with the wagon.
I would start with the person who discovered the body. He's a peasant, I believe his name is So. He's was one of Setsume's personal retinue of assistants, and he is the one that discovered the body, so you'd find him in Setsume's private room, so you could probably check in with him and check out his chambers as well. Perhaps there's something in the archives that the previous investigation missed.
And would the personal correspondence of Lord Setsume be in these archives as well?
Yes, it was his office. It's where he worked, and any personal correspondence, unless he kept them somewhere else that I'm not aware of, would be in, yes, his personal offices.
I just wanted to make sure so we didn't have to ask anyone outside of normal lines where to go. So we keep this quiet as possible.
I understand. You have free run of the castle. No one should give you too hard of a time if that's what you're worried about. Though, I would be wary of how you phrase your questions so as not to be too blatant.
That should be doable, I believe.
I will be announcing my findings in 4 days, so you should have time to complete your training, and I apologize. Usually it's much longer than what we have planned out for you, but I believe that based on the skill and the actions that I saw in Suma, I could really use you out there as someone that I can count on.
Thank you for the recommendation.
What's that?
Hopefully we can live up to your expectations.
Of course, we'll carry out our duty as best as samurai can, Nagasha-san. Akoto will give a deep bow.
You alright?
I was bowing. Sorry.
Dwarven
I
relations
bowed
are
and my
super
back
hatred for
went
lion.
out.
Oh.
No, she bows and unless there's any other questions, I do have a lot more work that I must get to.
Multitudes, to be sure.
Would you like to just when would be a good time to contact you for reports and updates?
I will speak to you as needed, but we can just, unless something significant comes into play, I will see you when your training is completed, and we can go over everything from there. In the meantime, I am available. You can generally find me here. And this is the way that the sort of castle is set up. You've got let me zoom out here so that I can see more of this stuff. You've got the Ruby Champion's estate, which is her area. It's sort of her living quarters. There's small like living areas around the Ruby Champion's estate for her servants and family and that sort of thing. But it's both her work area and her living space for her and her like retinue of hangers-on, you know, peasants and servants and family, that sort of thing. It's quite a bit smaller than the Emerald Champion's estate. If you look on the map over on the east side, the right of the map, you can see the taller tower. Like there's quite a bit more room for him and for the Emerald Champion and his, you know, retinue of servants and peasants and family and assistants and bodyguards and that sort of thing. So she's, generally speaking, unless she's out, you know, going about doing something, and you could run into her like going to the room of law to find something, or out in the dojo practicing, that sort of thing. But she's generally here, and if not, somebody in this area can probably point to where she's at.
Okay.
So we went to the audience room and to talk to her. Yeah.
Normally, when you're the normal procedure would be to meet in the audience hall, where they, you have your customary like, welcome to my place, blah blah blah, and that's where like meetings are held. But she had you meet in her private quarters because skullduggery,
Yep.
Yeah, normally it'd be the audience chambers or the audience room, or there's usually a separate room for this sort of thing. But what's up?
No, nothing. I think I'm not the only one that noticed the secret room on the east side of the map.
The official description of that, if you guys point that out, is I am to say it is dishonorable for the player characters to have their characters act on information that they would not have. So
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your character.
Shit, I guess I gotta make a new character now. 1 second. What do you have to roll for seppuku?
but yeah, it's a secret room. Your characters obviously don't know about it, but it's there.
Well,
what good castle doesn't have a secret room after all?
What's that?
True.
I said, what good castle doesn't have a secret room or
At
two?
least one.
Yeah, at least one. And the personal dungeon.
I originally was gonna like set up like the fog of war to cut out everything, but then I was like, that's just gonna make it more obvious that something's going on. So I was like, I think everybody here is decent enough at keeping character and player knowledge separate. So unless somebody's like, hey, I'm gonna go to the secret room, like, I don't think it's gonna be a problem. So I didn't do that. So
If anything, I was just joking.
now. Just ignore the one room that says the murder took place here with the candlestick. Ignore that one. Oh, never mind. That's on the GM later.
Okay, cool.
I'm just curious about the courtyard of punishment, but hey, let's move on.
Interested. Fortunately, investigation's not really my forte. I make people behave.
Good luck.
My arch nemesis.
Your arch nemesis investigations.
Oh no, Kage.
Okay. Unless you guys would like to do something else, if you would like to go meet your clan representatives,
That's what I want to do.
okay.
No, there's.
I'm just going to do this very quickly. It depends on you guys if you want to have private conversations with your clan representatives, or if you are just going to share all your knowledge anyway. Let me know. I can grab everybody up. It's just a quick thing with each one, unless there's something specific that you guys need. You know.
I'll do private.
Okay. I'm just gonna go down the list here. So, Crab Clan, Kyo.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna grab you up into whispers here real quick and just give you a blurb. if that's okay.
That's fine by me.
Okay, we'll be right back. Where am I at? There I am. Okay. You talked to Hida Mikuro? Mikuro? Unless there's anything else you want talking about Satsume, after sort of introducing yourself and everything, saying like, hey, I'm here for the training, and through the course of the conversation, he says that Satsume was a strict father. He hardly spoke to his eldest daughter, Hotura. Jesus, these names. Hotaru, after his wife's death. Not that he spoke with her much before that either. So their relationship between Satsume and his daughter was kind of strained. Probably basically strangers at best. You good? You're muted. Oh, no, you're not. You there?
I was on Discord on the laptop and my sound doesn't work. So yeah, I'm good. I heard that through my computer speaker, but couldn't talk because I'm hooked into my phone.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I got that. I took notes on it under my little equipment thing for now, just so I can remember it.
Okay. Is there anything else you need from your representative that you would like to talk about?
Not at the moment that I can think of. I've kind of been at odds with them most of my life, where I tend to just travel more and wander. So,
okay. He lets you know, if you need anything, we're here to help, and hopefully you bring honor and glory to the Crab Clan with this appointment.
give a bow and tell them I'll do my best and try not to, be dishonorable.
Okay. Send you away. I'm gonna grab somebody else up. Yoink. Crane Clan.
Get the shit out.
Sorry. Through the course of the conversation, sort of introducing yourself and them sort of letting you know what's going on. What are all these little dots all over the place all of a sudden? There's all kinds of... Somebody's drawing little squares on all the... sorry. Somebody's bored. Since the death of his wife, Satsume has not been very well liked, even among his own clan. Everyone secretly blamed him for her untimely end. His daughter, Hotaru, most of all. So his daughter seems to blame Satsume for the death of his daughter, or his wife.
Yeah.
And then they go through the normal customary, like, hey, welcome, do a good job, bring glory and honor to the clan, good luck on your training, that sort of thing. Is there anything you need from your...
What's the representative's name?
Asahina Tadani.
Tadani? Is that T-E?
Tadane.
Oh, Tadane.
Yep.
Tadane?
Yep.
Okay.
Gonna get me banned from
Alright,
Facebook.
My filters are really good. But let's see. I probably mentioned just the things I've seen so far, like report on the guys I'll be working with, like I don't remember their names. Kielbono and Nakoto, describing like the way they work and how their clans seem to be doing based on them, and particular interest in Kage. Just something in the base of my guts is like,
Yes.
keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, they definitely say, like, yes, the Scorpion clan is a valuable ally at times, but never to be trusted. Especially that one. Watch your back.
Is there something about him that I don't know? The Ruby champion wandered over the same thing.
There is obviously no proof with the events that transpired, but he was the general story goes that he was to be the bodyguard of someone with the Unicorn clan. He became rather close, and shortly thereafter, they met their demise. There is no evidence pointing to the fact that he did it, so nobody can prove anything, but it's Scorpion clan, and when someone gets close to someone in the Scorpion clan, bad things happen. So don't let it happen to you.
Of course not.
We are not as easily taken in like those from the Unicorn.
That's no interest of mine. I'm just a blade.
Olive Crane, more than just a blade. We are a tool of justice. We're the only thing that keeps this realm from chaos. The lion may have their soldiers, the crab may have their thugs, the scorpion may have their spies. But we do all of it better than them. We're the crane.
Looks life without the artistic touch.
Yes. Blunt instruments all. We are the surgeon's scalpel of the Empire.
Looks a little depressed. It's like, as you say.
All right. Anything else you need?
What's your number? No. No, that no, I'm good. That should be everything pretty much, besides the general report on the stuff on the road. Running into that group of criminals, we couldn't figure out who they were for, but the leader had some kind of mask or something. The running with the ogres and the goblins on that one merchant trail, so make sure to get that bridge looked into so we can protect the merchants traveling through for business, because that's bad for the economy.
Of course.
And that mentioning the I'm unfamiliar with the mythological studies. We ran into a woman on the way here that challenged us to a duel. She afterwards became some kind of bird person with an elongated nose. I believe. Which one's the spiritual one, Akodo or Kiobana?
Kyo.
Kiyobono had stated that it was a Tengu or some such.
Hmm.
Do you know anything about these? I'm not cursed, am I?
No, Tengu, and again, this is not my realm of expertise either, but Tengu predate the Empire. They are not tainted as such. They are ancient beings. I would be wary. They are not hostile, but they're...
Mischievous?
Yes, that's a good word for it. Their wants and desires don't necessarily always align with those of the Empire or its citizenry.
I imagine the view must be strange from a millennia of age.
That's if you believe the tales. Were I you, I would simply kill it.
To be fair, I tried. I was this close.
All right, we will definitely look into this. It is definitely something we don't
Oh,
want. Yes.
more specifically with the ogres and the goblins, it appeared more so that it was odd because they were working together. They're very much in a team effort. I believe, again, Kilbono was the one who mentioned that it seemed like they had been called or controlled in some way. So
Hmm.
it's possible an outside source setting up ambushes.
Yes, this will definitely warrant some investigation, especially. Yes. Keep me informed if anything else comes to light from this. There's definitely something going on.
Yes, it's certainly fascinating. That is all. I don't want to waste any more of your time than I need to.
She, he bows.
Returns the bow. Way deeper is be doing is that a sex?
All right.
I do. I must say.
Namaste. Uh-oh. Sorry if I interrupted. Lion Clan. You meet with your representative here at the Emerald Castle, Castle of the Emerald Champion, Kitsu Tsuguri, at the training dojo. After introductions and everything, sort of, letting you know what's going on, welcoming you to, the castle, and wishing you well on your training, and, bring glory and honor to the Lion Clan during this. During the course of the conversation, he mentions that Satsumi was an aggressive sparring partner and at times needlessly injured his soldiers during martial practices in the training yard. He was often very harsh in his criticisms and demanded more from everyone around him. Some of the soldiers did not care for his attitude towards that sort of thing, feeling like they were abused.
That is very unfortunate. How is one supposed to maintain an army if morale is down like that?
Exactly my feelings. Between
And
sorry, go ahead.
sorry, go ahead. Oh no, go ahead.
Between you and me, I did not care for his style of leadership or his interpretation of some of the laws. The soldiery is very important and needs to be treated the same as any tool. If you care for your sword, it will care for you. If you treat it poorly, it will break when you need it most.
Of course. You think one of the Crane clan would b- take better care of their swords, as it were.
Yes, especially. Honestly, I think that he was frustrated with something. He spent more and more time in the library, referencing law books. It seemed like he just would do training sessions and sparring sessions just to hurt people sometimes. Which, again, just this has to stay between you and I. You understand? Like it's.
Of course.
It is not well to speak ill of the dead, but the truth is the truth.
As it is, and dictated by Bushido.
Exactly. I think we are going to get along just fine.
Excellent. I look forward to our future meetings, Kitsuki-san.
Yes, and I
If
feel
you
like
don't mind me asking.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just I believe I believe it is your cousin will be visiting us sometime in the near future. So I will make sure that he knows that you're here. Well,
He Akoto visibly grimaces when he mentions cousin and says, "Which cousin, Kitsuki-san?"
the one that I had a note for, but do not have in front of me right now. I left all my stuff in my bag.
Oh, no worries. I see. Well, hopefully it'll be a interesting reunion and see how that goes and how that fares.
I'm trying to find. I know you had it on here. I'm sorry. It's one of your background things.
Yeah, my rival
Yes.
or adversary.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry. You just have sworn enemy cousin. So.
Oh shoot! I forgot to send off my information to you.
No worries. We'll improv or just let me know if I get anything super wrong. So.
Yeah, no worries. Shoot. Have you already picked a name for him or?
No, not yet. I just figured,
All right. So
Actually,
just in
hold
case,
on
all
one second.
right.
There's the whole reason I did this. There's actually a thing in here for. Everything's all out of whack. Hold on 1 second. Nope, didn't write it down. Sorry.
No worries. Usually I default to like Isamu for the cousin's name.
Let me get this down here real quick so that I don't forget it again. Oops. What is it again?
Isamu.
So it'd be Akoto. How do you spell that?
Let me see. Do you want me to put in just test of honor, or do you want me to send it to you via message?
You just yeah it doesn't matter. It's not gonna be a secret for long.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, quite an opportune time for family to meet up. It's good for the lion to stick together, right?
Yes. Of course.
Excellent.
Of course, Kitsu-san.
I will get you to some time. Make sure that he's on here on official business, but I'm sure that I can spare him for a few moments to, catch up. Family must stick together, right?
Kitsu-san, I'm sure my cousin and I will we'll behave just like old times.
Excellent. And he bows. I've got much work to do, so it's glory and honor.
Thank you. Glory and honor to our clan, and thank you for your time, Kitsu-san, for sparing me these few moments.
It is my honor. All right.
And he'll give him a very deep bow.
He bows back, obviously pleased. Seems like a very gregarious individual. Completely unaware of your uncomfortableness with the cousin.
Yep. I was like, shit, how do I phrase this to where it doesn't come off as completely, oh, fuck.
All right. Kicking you out.
All right, sounds good.
Scorpion Clan.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hello.
You meet Bayushi Nagai in the Courtyard of Punishment. After introductions and everything, you get Satsumi disappeared often, but no one could figure out how he left the castle or by what entrance he returned. This would suggest that there's some secret in the castle's architecture. He also mentions that Satsumi was a great compromiser, something that the Scorpion Clan honestly was frustrated with at times. But it worked in their favor when they could maneuver it that way. He managed to ensure that no one was happy with his decisions, but also no one was too angry with his decisions either. Satsumi did not get along with most people in the castle. One time, I overheard Sumiko and Satsumi arguing about their duties to the Emperor, but the disagreement went unresolved. I don't know what the particulars were about, but obviously some strife in the castle.
Does he add anything else, or is this?
I mean, if there's anything else that you want to go over while we're here, some people had more stuff. Other people just wanted their little blurbs.
Basically, wanted the blurb, and is there anything else I should be aware of in the walls of this castle?
You are Scorpion Clan, so keep your eyes open for any opportunities that present themselves to keep the clans not necessarily at each other's throats. We don't want civil war, but we don't want any one clan to get too powerful. That is sort of our duty here, to ensure that things work according to the good of the Empire, not necessarily to the good of an individual or an individual clan. Though if it benefits the Scorpion, all the better.
Very good to know. Inform him of the missive that I sent to Lord Hiramatsu, and that I had asked, I believe it was MacLeod to carry it.
What? I'm sorry, what's that?
Just inform him that, I let the other Scorpion clan carry the missive that I had sent to my lord, who I owe my personal giri to let him know that I was moving to this location for training in the magistrate.
I missed. I'm sorry. What was the beginning of that again? I'm having a hard time concentrating. I'm sorry.
Was it 2 game sessions ago after the Topaz Championship?
Yeah, you sent the letter or whatever with Yeah.
Just let him know I did that, and that I'm here to check in with him.
Excellent. I did receive word that your lord has sent a response. It should be waiting for you. I believe at the usual drop location, somewhere in the hen house.
Nods and bows. To the standing of the Lord that I'm speaking with.
I would be wary. Sometimes our couriers don't necessarily always do what they're supposed to do. We have a few drop spots. Just keep an eye out during the course of your studies. I do not know what is in the missive, but consider it part of your tests to find it.
As one should always be like a leaf in the wind.
Okay. Anything else?
All right. No.
Bows as he sort of dismisses you out of his out of the hall of
Courtyard.
punishment. Yep.
All right.
Instead of regular Red Bull, so I called it the Redheaded Stepchild.
Okay.
And I was just joking about it one night at the bar, and they actually
no.
had it. They had one, and they're like, "Hold on." They're like, "Let's pour a couple of these." And like, I was like, "Hell yeah, I want one." And a couple
Hell
people
yeah.
tried it. And people liked it, so they added it to their menu.
Okay.
I
Sorry.
Very,
we're just
very
talking about mass suicides and weird translations for things. That this YouTube video should be interesting.
After you guys meet with your representatives, Kagi, before returning you to your rooms for the night, gives you a relatively quick tour, if not actually taking you to the locations, at least pointing out where they are and letting you know what's there. The Emerald Champion's rooms, located in the topmost tower. These rooms house the Emerald Champion and their immediate family members. A new champion is expected to leave their family home behind and move with their spouse, young children, and other dependents into these apartments and family quarters. They are waiting for another Emerald Championship to happen so that the new Emerald Champion can be appointed. The Emerald Archives. These store the Emerald Champion's records and personal references. They provide a detailed history of past and current Emerald Champion's projects and achievements. Private dining hall is the dining room for the Emerald Champion family members and occasional guests. Audience room is a small chamber for the Emerald Champion's private meetings and other functions. Family quarters is a living space for the Emerald Champion's family members. Servants' quarters. For convenience, these are located on the same floor as the kitchen and directly beneath the family quarters so that they can get there efficiently and quickly. The holding cells, furnished with dozens of thick wooden cages, the holding cells are outfitted for both criminals and prisoners of war. Since Shiro Yagasha, the Emerald Castle, is the seat of imperial law, these have housed some of Rokugan's most infamous prisoners before their trials in the Court of Judgment. Granary and storage is fairly obvious. They have several entrances and hold enormous quantities of food and provisions for everyday use and in case of siege. Their dark, cool recesses contain thousands of wood and straw barrels, stoneware pots and jars, ceramic bottles, and sacks filled with rice, wheat, and pickled and fermented vegetables, salted and dried fish and squid, cooking oils, wine, animal feed, and more. Henry. The hennery is a tiny, innocuous shed where hens and chickens are raised. There is a wizened pennant named Oji that tends to it twice a day to feed the birds and gather eggs. The kitchen is a sizable chamber fully stocked to meet the Emerald Champion's needs, as well as all the visitors and diplomats and everything. The conference halls, spaces for larger private meetings that do not require a public audience, such as when the Emerald Champion confers with Emerald Magistrates or the commanders of the Imperial Legions. The training dojo, often called the Emerald Dojo. Practice space reserved for the Emerald Champion, their Yojimbo, and senior Imperial Legion members who are stationed at the castle. Do you guys need me to go over all of these?
Most of it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, the only ones I would have questioning about would be the ones we're going to end up going to for training.
Okay.
Which is, I have it here. Yeah, Court of Judgment, Ruby Dojo, and Room of Law.
Okay, the Court of Judgment is an outdoor courtroom located in a thickly walled, austere stone courtyard. The Court of Judgment is where justice is meted out. There, the Emerald Champion presides over only the most important trials, those involving the most flagrant and disgraceful abuses of Imperial law, which makes this court the primary wellspring of Rokugan's most scandalous gossip. The Ruby Dojo is the primary dojo for Emerald Magistrates. Special weapons and dueling techniques devised by past Emerald Champions are passed down by numerous sensei. And what was the other one? Courtyard of Punishment?
Room of Law.
Room of Law. The private office space of the Emerald and Ruby Champions. The Room of Law is where Imperial law is written, updated, and revised. And real quick, just because there's probably some questions around the Room of Questioning, that's where strangers and unexpected visitors are sort of questioned when they first get there. It's the little white room at customs when you're pulled aside and asked questions, and held till the FBI gets there.
Color me interested.
This is one of those things, like, I've read over this whole thing like 3 times, but then it's like, hey, here's this part that you're going to need 6 pages in, but we're going to put it at the beginning because it's just a reference. But I'm not going to remember it.
My books look like the makings of a madman because I have like 5,000 bookmarks for like little taxons. Like, here's where to find this chart, and here's where to find the thing that explains the chart. So it's basically evening, and we're getting
Yep.
a tour around the place.
Yep.
Okay.
As he finishes up, he says, the rest of the day is yours. You can return to your quarters and get some sleep. Breakfast will be served immediately in the morning, at which point you will begin your training. And if there's anything you need from me, I will be happy to help. And I just want to let you guys know this right here. Kagi knows everybody, so he can help you out if you're trying to remember something and he's available. You can spend 2 opportunity if you fail the check to have him basically give you a success.
Sounds good.
That's a handy opportunity.
So keep that in mind if he's around.
Will do. And Akoto will probably take this opportunity to bow very deeply to Kage and apologize for their for the lateness that they arrived. Formally apologize.
No, it is understandable given the events on the road. Why is there red dots all over the castle? I must clean this up. Someone bored?
Those are good climbing points.
I was doodling, okay? It was me.
Okay.
I tried to delete them, but I don't know how.
The question is, when did you try to delete them? Because there's got to be 60 of them on there.
I've been trying for like 5 minutes.
All that. I tried to delete them, and from John's end, all you hear is click, click, and they all disappeared.
But I tried, Daddy.
So, what would you guys like to do at this point?
Keo would have perked up at hearing food. He is much like his character creator and loves to eat.
Well, there's probably you can probably make it to dinner for the day. It's winding down for the day, but there's probably still food available if you wanted to get to the dining hall, or there may be some people there that you can talk to.
With it being so late, I'd probably just try to go chill out at a garden somewhere until nighttime.
Okay.
Akoto would probably head to the training yard and look at some of the equipment that they have available.
Yeah, between the training yard and the armory, they have quite a stockpile of different weapons and gear and everything. It's a seat of power, and it is a castle built for defense. The area surrounding the castle is like the castle's up on like a mountain, like
A large plateau.
yeah. And the surrounding area is relatively flat, and you can see like a long time ago, like it's been clear cut for miles. So if an army were to invade, they'd have plenty of time to see them before they even got close enough to do anything. So since the castle's been built, nobody's ever assaulted it, both because of its representation in the Empire. An attack on the castle of the Emerald Champion would be an attack on the Empire itself. So you would expect if any one clan or someone got to the point where they were to attack this, most everyone else would rally against them. But it seems to be very well prepared for a siege in many respects.
John, I apologize ahead of time, by the way, if anyone comments. I was talking about edibles and whatnot. I completely forgot we were recording
No, it's okay.
the session at the time.
It's okay.
It's, I just want to put that out there with Lavin's, subtly reminding me with his comment there of, hey, I forgot I was talking about that. Just so if anyone comments, that was my fault because I forgot we record.
Who knows? Suddenly 1,000 prescribers.
Did you say 1,000 prescribers?
Yeah, I realized that as soon as it left my mouth. I was like, maybe if I don't mention it.
I mean, with the conversation of applying to it, though, valid.
Oh, maybe it was a Freudian slip. Maybe that's exciting. Yeah, I'll just be chilling at the Gardens of Verdant Serenity, whose names I just noticed, and that's amazing.
The group just sees Tio sniff the air and take off at a run.
Yeah, and that's like that's one of your passions, isn't it?
Yeah, chilling in nature. So,
yeah, so
really digging the scene.
Yeah, if you have any strife at this point, I believe engaging in your passions removes 3 strife. So, and that is something that I looked up after the fact. Resting in and of itself, like, is all part of the reduced to half sort of thing with fatigue and strife. If you're stressed, sleeping it off doesn't necessarily like reduce your stress, sort of thing. So.
That's what I thought. That's why.
Yeah. So that's my fault. Too many systems and too many similarities and differences to keep track of.
Fatigue goes right away, right?
What's
Like
that?
after a long rest, all the fatigue goes out.
Yeah.
Just making sure. So I'm down to 2. Everyone's been all serious, and I'm just chillaxing.
Walking around.
I'm off to investigate a certain area.
Fold some origami. You guys do your bit.
You look around, Kage.
Yep.
You. Wait 1 second here. You, with what you're looking for, you do not find anything. You see, the chickens are out pecking around. They must have just been fed not too long ago.
Investigate to see if I notice anything unusual or different about this. Maybe something that will jump out.
One second.
The castle explodes.
With it being as late as it is, there doesn't seem to be anything else like out of the ordinary that you can see at this point.
All right.
It seems like whoever takes care of the hens probably fed them for the night, did their thing, because it looks like somebody was there relatively recently and in the not too distant past, but they probably turned in for the day. So maybe checking back during the day sometime might
yield different results.
Yeah.
All right. Go about my way to go get comfort and a restful night's sleep.
Okay. Kashimura. As
Yes, sir.
as you're out in the garden, it's starting to get a little bit late. You're starting to get ready to head in, and you hear like someone telling some sort of story. You don't catch the gist of it, but there's a small throng of what appears to be adoring fans coming around, sort of gathered around this fairly large individual. Before he finally says, like, that's enough for the day. I must retire. I will regale you with more of my tales in the morning. And turns around and heads off, and they're all like, "Oh, see you then. Oh, it's so great to see you here." And the crowd sort of disperses. Not a huge crowd, just like a few like courtiers, sort of hanging on this guy's every word. He seems to be a rather tall, handsome fellow. You don't get a very good look at him, but just judging by the armor and everything, his accoutrement, seems to be what's the word I'm looking for? Lion Clan. But other of the like his armor overall, like he's definitely got like some of the symbolism of lion, but he's also like in his like badge of office that you catch is of the Imperial Legion, sort of the standing military of the Empire.
Okay, let me type that real quick. Okay. Do I recognize him at all? Or he seems pretty popular.
Just from a distance, it's hard to say. But they looked very similar in like they're seemed like they were probably related in some way to Kazuya. Definitely had that same like facial structure. Probably a relatively close relative.
Wow. I wasn't aware of that. He's mentioned his family before, yeah? Kazuya?
His immediate family, yes.
What all did he mention recently? Because I think it was...
Mostly his adoptive father as well as his biological mother and father. You know that he has an older brother and an older sister as well. And he talked about growing up in the Line Lands. You can tell he's very close with his biological family, and not necessarily strained, but kind of like admiring his adoptive father in a way.
That's maybe. Okay. I don't know, something's pulling up my gut. I'll hop up from my little spot, leave a dragon on the rock there, and try to nonchalantly walk a little bit a ways away, keep an honest guy, see what's up, before making a move in and trying to like just if we go through a market, I'll pick up an apple. Ooh, that's a nice apple. Side eyeing him the whole time. Holy crap, Hayabusa! But just trying to keep an eye on him, following him around town, see what he's up to. If he's just like walking through, doing normal stuff, after a while, I'll probably eventually walk up and introduce myself.
He seems just to be heading to the like the visitors' quarters. Seems to be going to a nicer area than you guys. As you walk up, he turns and says, "Oh," and he bows.
I return the bow. Hello.
Is there something I can help you with?
Terribly sorry. I didn't mean to come off any kind of way, but there was a striking resemblance to a patriot of mine I'd met recently, and it sparked my interest. So I want to see if it was a distance thing, but no, you bear quite the striking resemblance.
Ah, who is your compatriot?
I can't remember the honorifics ever. Is it Sama? Kazuya Sama?
Yeah, I think it's like San for. I think it's San for respect, Sama for high respect.
Oni-chan, got it.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Zakuya Sama. I had his first name written here somewhere. I don't know if we're close enough for you to have told me it, really, or would I just know and we never use it?
I think at the adult ceremony, we get to choose our name. So Akoto would have probably, or Kazuya would have told everyone, or if he would have attended these ceremonies.
Oh, cool. Okay. Akoto Kazuya.
Ah, yes, my cousin.
That explains it.
He's here?
Yeah, we came in just today. Sent in from the Topaz Championship, don't you know?
Ah, no,
I
can't say that I've heard. I've been quite busy. I will have to check in on little cousin.
Damn it!
Which one of you was a Topaz champion?
That would be me.
Awesome. Let me note that down.
Yeah, that was cute.
I had notes and I deleted them like the purified genius that I am. So I'm starting from the bottom. Q&A Topaz. Cool. Sorry. Yes.
So he went
he's
to
doing very
the
well for
Topaz
himself.
Championship, huh?
Yeah, he did exceptionally well.
Oh,
Kept
that's
his calm.
surprising.
Why is that? Looks a little put off.
He's a good kid, but we can't all be me.
Oh no, he's hot, isn't he? I'm joking.
Yeah, he's super hot.
Ah, jeez. It's Gaston. Great.
Yeah.
Well, that is certainly a truth that you have spoken there. Not all can be like you.
And you can see, like, he's just got an air of superiority to him that, like, everything just kind of goes this guy's way. You know. And I mean, he's not like it's not necessarily like you definitely get like you can see he's not like all show. He definitely has like the bearing of someone that's seen battle and has you know, carries himself with someone as someone that you know, has proven their worth, sort of thing. He's not like some aristocrat that's just high on their station. But it's also one of those things where he doesn't bullshit his
successful.
Yeah. Yeah. The best way that I can put it, if like Game of Thrones, it's what's his face, the brother. Like he's good at what he does, but he's also like not an asshole about it, but like very arrogant about it. You know?
Yeah, it talks down to everyone.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily
feel
like it's those
Oh, he's not outwardly rude. It just puts
Yeah.
everyone off because he's so amazing.
but everybody else loves him. Like you saw the throngs of adoring fans earlier. Like he's Rokugani pop star, basically. Very handsome, very popular, very skilled.
Let's see. One second.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take that straight. Just trying to keep calm. And that strife there. Cool. It's like, you seem to be quite busy. I'll go ahead and leave you to your business. I'm sure Mr. Mr. Kazuya will be happy to see you. If anything, he seems the whole time he's thinking back to a conversation Kazuya had, and all these things are clicking together. Oh, that's what he.
No, it's no problem. Well, if you're hanging out with Kazoo, I'll probably be seeing you around.
Absolutely, it will be quite wonderful to see you again. I understand we'll be working closely for some time.
Yeah, we'll see. And he does a very, very quick bow and turns and walks off.
I'm gonna have to apologize to Kazuya.
And
He
you're just like,
so he walks off and heads back towards the
so
room.
hot. You're just like, oh my god. Whew. Change the sheets tonight. Whew.
Just jumps into the river in the gardens.
Okay. Sleeping for the night?
Kinda.
All right, we'll take a 10-minute break, then come back here for our first day.
Alrighty.
Sounds good.
I always end up playing the bard. Damn it. What's up?
I apologize for this. I mean no offense. I cannot tell by your picture if your character is male or female.
Male.
Okay. So we have all males then.
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Because I was referring to you as he, your character as he, like, every session. And then it occurred to me, like, I don't actually know if you've said, and, you know, some of sometimes it's obvious, you know?
Perfect. I nailed it then, because I was looking for a picture that was androgynous as fuck. So
Well, yeah. And that's
I succeeded.
Sort of what I figured you were going for, but you know, I wanted to check.
Cue the calamari. It's a trap. No.
Well, and that's one of those, you know, Japanese culture things. It's, you know, not outside the norm. Like there's.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's all perfectly normal. I'm in the middle of Dallas.
What's that?
So I'm in the middle of Dallas, so I see all kinds of fun stuff. Nothing phases me anymore.
Yeah.
And it's all fair and equal. Whatever makes you happy, do it.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about it. As long as it's not affecting me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's, you know, but
Yeah.
that's with anything.
As long as it doesn't get within the 3-foot reach of me, I'm cool with it. Do whatever. It's my personal space.
Yeah.
I'm like the personal space guy from Rick and Morty. I attune to that guy too well. Do you remember him?
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like even my skin is in my personal space. He starts tearing his skin off.
I always, I think it was, Joss Whedon, like, tweeted, it disgusts me when I see two guys holding hands, or two girls holding hands, or two people holding hands, or people.
That took a turn that I actually quite enjoy.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
All right, bud.
Oh my god, it's like noon.
Yeah, I know.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Real quick, is there like a specific thing that you and your cousin are rivals over? You wanna, like, do you have a?
Mainly status.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully I'm not screwing up your background here with the
I'm back.
characterization of him.
I pretty much had envisioned. Like my cousin, pretty much, he always looked down on Kazuya and thought that he's not true lion blood. So it's always had that thing like he came from crap blood, so you're a crap person and a crap samurai.
Well, then you guys probably wouldn't actually look too similar then, would you? Now that I'm actually using my brain. My headache's gone away, finally.
No worries. If all else fails, you can always say that he got adopted into the clan as well. I wouldn't be surprised if the line does that often to try to rekindle their samurai ranks.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too where it's like I don't know. It's one of those things. There's so many like, hey, this is this family and they're this, and it's like that. Everybody is just that family. Like that's surprised there's not some
Look at a family tree and it's like freaking all twisted and everything like
yeah.
that.
Actually, more to say it might be a little late getting back, so we can carry on without him as long as everyone else is here.
I'm here. All right. You guys get up the next day and you can head into the dining hall. Excuse me, my headache seems to have moved to my stomach. The dining hall is filled with samurai, including Kagai. The talk this morning still seems to concern Satsumi's death. The Ruby Champion hasn't made an official declaration regarding the matter, which seems to just be providing more fuel for the gossip. On the surface, everyone is saddened, but it's very clear through the course of breakfast that no one is actually upset. You pick up a few times people talking about his trips to the cave under the castle, hearing how he would disappear and reappear, like just awful in his own business. Nobody really knew what he was doing. You do notice a small group of other Emerald Magistrates watching you guys while you're eating, and they're sort of muttering to themselves. They seem genuinely unhappy, but it doesn't appear to be about Setsume's death. On another side of the hall, you see Akoto Isamaru with a small entourage of lion and crab samurai. And once again, he's regaling them with some tale or another about his heroic exploits, and they all just seem to be hanging on every word.
So the people that are staring us down, then, does it look like they're talking about us, or
It's hard to say. They keep like glancing your direction while they're muttering, so it definitely you definitely get that feeling.
because he will comment to his compatriots like, it looks like no matter where we go, we always make friends so easily. And he's kind of like every time they look up, like he'll make sure that he makes eye contact with the person that looks over at their table, kind of like stares him down.
Potentially going to get myself into crap here, but kind of following Akoto's lead instead of staring them down, just kind of smirking like I don't really care that much and going back to my food every time I catch one of their eye. Not worried about what other people think. We're here for a specific purpose.
If only they knew that our Koniko had claws.
Makoto's gonna he's gonna be eating rice, and he kind of chokes a little bit whenever you mention the name again. Getting a bit familiar with that name, I see. Kage-san, or Shoshudo-san.
I say it hushed. I said it hushed enough, where it's just us sticking over here.
I don't know if anyone could pick. Well, probably definitely Shoshudo probably picked this up, but Akoto's blatantly like trying to ignore the corner with the fangirls and the other line.
Perhaps soon enough, someone will hear about your claws and make stories for you.
Hopefully there will be good stories. I hope one day.
Perhaps when they find out that we did dispatch an ogre.
I just want to go over complications real quick, because this is sort of our first time dealing with it. With your cousin being here, it's a complication. You can choose to stoically accept it, in which case there's no effect beyond the narrative results of this whole thing. If you choose to sort of, be deeply moved by the moment, if you decide that you're gonna you receive 3 strife and gain 1 void point, basically. If but it's your choice. It is a way to gain a void point. I don't know if you guys are at your max or whatever right now, but you know. But that's what it is. And you guys, like, if we're going through the story, feel free. If you only get one complication a session, at least as far as like the mechanical sort of benefits of it. But by all means, again, honestly, this is a fairly complicated thing with all the Nino and Gary and Guri and passions and everything. But feel free if something comes up that you think would be a good time for your like a complication to arise with your character. By all means, say like, hey, you know, I haven't seen my daughter in a long time, and you know, maybe she's here, maybe whatever. I don't know, whatever. But feel free to shoot it my way. We don't have to like, you know, it doesn't have to be a private message or anything. But I'll try and throw the stuff in there when I can, but can't keep track of everything. So.
Alright, so how about for this one, for my cousin to bring in the complication? Maybe he starts talking loudly about a story about our past.
Oh, I was
And,
going there. Yeah, I was. Yeah,
okay.
I was gonna mess with you.
All right, sounds good.
So as you
Let me
guys
go and write down that 3 strife right now.
As you guys are sort of getting close to finishing your meal, very loudly, you can hear Isamu on the other side of the room being like, yes, my cousin, the first time he tried to ride a horse, tell him about the time that you fell off the horse, cousin. It was quite phenomenal. You almost died. And then he starts going on about the first time he tried to ride a horse and it bucked you off and you landed in the mud, ruining your favorite tunic. And he starts talking about how you started crying, and not necessarily all of it's 100% true, but you were a child at the time, so. They all start laughing.
So, you can visibly, like, anyone who's near Okoto can probably hear the snap as he ends up breaking one of his chopsticks.
A little piece of squid flies out of here. A little piece of squid flies out and lands on Kyo's plate, and he just quickly grabs it with his chopsticks and starts munching on it.
Sounds good. And Okoto will he'll glance over at the at his cousin and said like, you have such wonderful tales of our past. Perhaps you can regale us on some of your own tales from our past. Like, I remember there was one incident with what was her name? And he's gonna think about the time that Isamu tried to it was one of those times where he thought it was like really hot shit, and he got sorely beaten by this one girl in the neighborhood. Our old neighborhood, and it was like a really like it was like a street race through town, and she like totally smoked him.
Go ahead and give me a performance check. TN2. With this, I'm
Probably be Earth, since remembering, I think.
okay.
Or I don't know, what would it be?
For performance?
I could see fire. If you know, as you're trying to sort of you know, poke back.
Let's go fire. I already know I'm not gonna get this because my rolls are crap, but let's try this anyway. I I don't think I've ever had a skill die come up with something positive. All right, I'll go ahead and just take the opportunity to lower one strife. And I'll say that maybe he got under my skin a little bit too much, and maybe didn't come off as eloquent as he is. Might have muttered underneath my breath, jackass.
You see, like, his face darkens for just a moment, but then, like, towards the end of you talking about this, you sort of stammer just a little bit, and he just, like, manages to cover it up. And he's, yes, I do remember her. She ended up becoming one of the best horse riders in my regiment. Fantastic today. She could run any one of you under the ground on horseback. And he just sort of takes it in stride. At this point, seeing that there's a little bit of conflict, a little bit, Kage comes over and taps you on the shoulder, and I believe it might be best if you all head to your training for the morning before things escalate.
Of course. Shoot, I keep on forgetting his family name.
Let me hear 1 second. Let me. Oh shoot! I don't have a.
Yes. Of course, Kyusuke-san. We will. I'll do just that. He'll get a little bit flustered at this.
So I put. Oh shoot! He's all stretchy. Whoa!
Good composure.
And Nicole probably mentioned his compatriots. Watch yourselves around him, as he kind of like motions a little bit towards his cousin.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, sorry. I thought I put a picture on there, but I didn't. So, bite me. At least you have his name.
Did I mention I met him earlier? He seemed rather nice.
Kodo's gonna raise his eyebrow. Oh, is that so?
Gets a little flustered. Yes. You seem rather pleasant to talk to. He's very generous. I mentioned meeting you. It seems it was a bit stressful for you. Are you all right? I might have missed a little bit.
Their gritted teeth is like, I am perfectly fine. Thank you for your concern.
Of course.
Kashimura-san.
What the hell am I getting stared at for now?
Because my friend, if it makes you feel any better, I feel like the members of my clan that were, fanning his rudeness probably aren't the brightest of the Hida. They should know better than that.
Kage takes you to the Court of Judgment, where the instructor, Seppun Hakuto, waits for you. As you enter the Court of Judgment, an elegant outdoor setting. Several other students, all much older than you, are already there. Seppun Hakoto, a thin, angular man of advancing years wearing the imperial chrysanthemum, sits beneath a small awning and beckons you to sit before him under the clear sky above. So, he says with a slow, even tone, You are to become Emerald Magistrates. We shall see. As he starts stroking his white beard. He asks each of you to relate your backstories and asks why those so young wish to serve the Empire in this way. He looks at Kashimura first.
Oh no. How dare you ask another man's ninja what gear?
You do not have to tell the truth.
I know.
Why would you?
I should have played Scorpion. Fuck. Hmm. Keeping control of things has always been my education, my training. Keeping things calm, settled. Being the blade of my daimyo, Shagatsu. I figure I serve the same way. Beyond that, towards the Emperor would serve better. I'll happily act as his blade.
Good, good. And you, Scorpion Clan.
It has always been the way of the Scorpion to serve the Empire, to weed out any underlying concerns, and to serve the Empire.
Exactly what I would expect from one of the Scorpion. And you, Crab.
I've chosen to take this path because I feel that the Crab Clan under and overrepresents themselves at the same time. It seems that most in my clan would prefer to be comfortable with being just known as the brutes on the wall when it's not all we are. So I've chosen this path to show that there are those among us that can be more compassionate yet still kill when ordered to do so.
And you, Lion. Do I even need to ask?
I seek to only bring honor amongst the Empire itself, and to serve as best as we can, whether it be on the battlefield or in the courts, and to ensure that we protect all that is sacred within our lands.
Excellent. And with that, he starts going into a lecture, sort of covering interrogation techniques, interview, evidence gathering, various types of criminals and heretics you might encounter. His lessons concern not just the importance of gathering testimonies and noticing clues, but fitting them together. He starts talking about some of his old cases that featured conflicting testimonies and subtle clues that fit together like parts of a puzzle. He pauses after reviewing his last tale of a minor clan daimyo who was betrayed by someone in her immediate family, and he provides you the clues and testimonies gathered, and then allows you to solve it for him. You have all the information that I had on that day. What is your conclusion? What answers best serve the Empire? You can make a TN3 courtesy check or a games check. Water 2, Earth 2, Fire 5. To get the answer.
Is that for all of us, or
Whoever wants to do it, you guys can work together and do assists if you'd like.
Hmm.
I've got something in courtesy.
I would do a courtesy.
Oh yeah.
I have courtesy as well, so that's another skill that I added.
Apparently,
Courtesy
I'm not
is-
courteous.
Investigation is not my bit. I'll help whoever wants to roll that.
I'm gonna do Earth courtesy.
Nice.
Gladly,
True.
it's
For the reasons, for the reasoning aspect of Earth.
gladly assist in assist in the reasoning of it. So
Same here.
Yeah.
Kodo will also assist. Give some advice on past military. Just, holy crap.
That's just my base roll without the assist.
Nice. We all help putting up the little board with the piece of information and the red lines going to him. Kage's in there, smoked half a pack of cigarettes.
What is... So each of you has... I believe 2 had skills and 1 did not.
I have
yes,
skill.
I have
Hmm.
skills as well.
you're taking a ring die from me.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap.
Wow.
So that allows me to keep 5 because of all the assists.
Yep.
That's
Huh.
a shitload of success if you want to take the
I
strife on it.
What is the TN? Was it 4 or 3?
3.
You discover they sent an
3.
innocent man to jail.
So convincing that someone in the class, confesses that he did it.
The
Just
diagnosis-
because I need 3, I will keep the exploding successes, which is 2 from here.
Jesus.
Oh my
Jesus.
god.
Kashimura
Okay,
starts
one from
feeling
here?
himself. You look
Oh,
at
that opportunity is sexy.
So you've got 3 successes right now. You can keep any of these dice. 3 successes and what? 3 strife? 2 strife.
2 strife. And I'm going to remove one of the strife for the opportunity. Keep the extra explosive. And it ends there.
Still, jeez.
4 successes, 1 strife.
Yep.
After listening to his stories, his lecture, you correctly place the blame on the least politically connected individual involved, solving the matter and gaining a smile from the otherwise taciturn sensei. He closes with strong words about your new role in uncovering threats to the Empire, lest it fall to dangers less obvious than the horrors of the Shadowlands, sort of giving Kyo a little wink. Even this very castle and the people in it are not immune to infiltration from those who would tear down the Empire. And with that, the lesson comes to an end, and he starts gathering up his stuff. The other students go out of the room. They're all sort of sticking together, and as they leave, they all sort of like give you the stink eye.
Wonder what that's all about.
I feel Kage is probably used to the stink eye at this point.
Yeah. Even in my school, I was known for my thoroughness and patience.
Makes sense.
Rolled 2.
Oh no.
Someone give me a TN1 medicine check.
I'll do it.
You alright, buddy?
I'm good.
Wrong pipe.
Yep. So after the midday meal, you guys have the rest of the afternoon to yourselves to do with as you will. Where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
Keo has spent a few moments expanding on his passions and his character because I made it all at once and have been really reading more over it, and I put a little bit more of myself into him, and I love to read, so I'm going to head to the library to see if I can find something to occupy my mind on my downtime. And, maybe listen if anyone's whispering over anything that happened with our, demised Emerald Champion.
I would expect maybe you would go to the archives to read.
Well, she did suggest starting in his private area and talking to what was his name? Ono.
Oh no! I'm sorry.
It'd be worth going there instead.
So
Sure, even if I can't.
To the group at large here, I find it interesting that many have still continued to whisper about the odd comings and goings of our Emerald Champion Satsume. Perhaps there are hidden passageways or rooms to the castle we now reside in, which could be beneficial for us to find or detrimental to perhaps someone that already knew about these passageways.
Definitely a security risk.
It was mentioned that he was often seen going to the cave that's below the castle and then reappearing unexpectedly, so it definitely holds a lot of credence that there would be some type of passageways, possibly leading to or from that cave that lead to various areas throughout the state.
Perhaps you could find something in your readings about said passageway. Otherwise, I plan on looking into finding this cave.
Would you like someone to accompany you?
The more the merrier.
If that is the case, then I shall gladly accompany our friend to the archives and help him do the reading.
Oh, party split up! Yay!
Let's split it up 4 ways, guys. Who wants to go to the...
Yeah.
Who wants to go to the torture chamber?
Hell yeah, I'm into that. Where
Nothing bad's gonna happen in the torture chamber.
I'm down.
in the questioning. Let me at him.
Hey, one man's torture is another man's pleasure.
Okay.
Some people pay good money for this.
This is not
And it devolves.
Okay. So we got you two going up.
Hopefully we don't have to do any climbing.
And you guys are going down to the cave.
Other than the probably like 200 stairs to get that high, I don't think they're going climbing.
Roll of fitness. Ew.
Okay. This is more for me to keep track of where everybody's at than anything else. Okay. So the guy's going to the archives. As you're headed up there, you do notice going between the archives and up to the Emerald Champion's rooms is a middle-aged peasant that you recognize from the description that too many names going on here. Give me 1 second. There we go. Samiko mentioned as as you sort of come up the stairs, and there's a good many stairs to get up here. He bows and just sort of continues his duties.
Godo will look over and he'll approach the servant and says, "Excuse me, a moment of your time."
Oh, yes. What can I do for you, Lord? As he bows down.
Godo will nod to him and says, like, "Are you often here in this area for your duties?"
Ah, yes, I was Satsume's personal servant. I took care of his morning toiletries, maintained his room and quarters for many years. I found his body, don't you know? It's quite saddening. I liked him very much.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate that you came across his body like that. I feel for your loss.
Yes, the entire castle is just quite displeased with his passing. It's a sad day for us all. He was well liked all around. As I found him actually right over there at the bottom of the steps in this room, at the bottom of the steps from his quarters to the archives. It was already too late when I found him. It was already cold and stiff. We had some of the others take the body away when it was discovered, and had him ceremoniously cremated as is custom. We, quite sad.
And so they said that he passed on, but I had no idea it was at the stairs. Did he slip or?
I personally, I didn't see anything like fall related. But I can't say that I examined the body too much. I do know that between you and me, he was a proud man, and he was getting up there in age. He was hiding some physical deterioration. I know that he had a hard time coming up and down these steps these days, but he did his best to hide it. But those of us that were close to him, we saw what was happening, and he would never admit it, but it was not my place to question him or offer assistance if he did not ask. I did my duty until the end. It's very sad. I actually helped Ryu help pack up his things. We're both quite upset by it.
It's Ryu. We know him well. We've met him on our journeys, as it was.
Oh yes, he mentioned you. He was just in here clearing out a few more things. Actually, I have not seen him around, but since then. But yes, it's
But Ryu is also located at the castle today, or this day.
I believe he may have headed back to Suma already. I am not sure. He arrived early this morning and dropped off a few things, picked up a few things, and he's been running back and forth. he's getting up there in years too. I told him with everything going on right now, he needs to be careful. It may be time for him to retire, but he's as stubborn as our old lord was.
It is on the backs of all of us in the Empire to support those above us and to make sure our duty is fulfilled. You, by the looks of everything, you have done a very admirable job in your duties as well.
Thank you. It is an honor.
I have a question, if I may.
Yes.
What time of day was Lord Satsume found?
It was at night. I don't know if he was heading up to turn in for the night or had something else going on. He was towards the end. He was always coming and going. I never knew what exactly he had going on. It was not my place to ask. I just there were times where he would not even. It seemed like he did not even sleep in his bed for the night. As I went up to do the daily turnover, it didn't seem like he had been in there all day, or all night. But there he was in the morning in the archives, or sometimes spent more and more time, it seemed, in the library. If there's nothing else, I do still have my duties to attend to, Lord. I would not want to keep you held up with the ramblings of an old man. If you have any other questions, I would happily oblige. But with your leave, I must attend to the rest of my duties.
Appreciate your time.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
And he does a deep bow and walks down the stairs with quite a few, like it looks like bedrolls and stuff, sort of still in the habit, it seems, of turning down the rooms and stuff every day.
I'd like to turn to Okoto and go. So they said that they found him already cold. It means he would have had to have been laying there for quite a while.
Yes, I agree.
It takes several hours for a body to cool. And if he was stiff to the touch and cool, he could have been dead somewhere between 8 and 10 hours before they found him from a medical standpoint.
Yes, it makes sense. Also, he mentioned that it looked like he didn't, even though he was found at the bottom of the stairs, he mentioned something along the lines of, though it did not look like he fell.
He would have been coming from somewhere. Maybe worth looking around, with our discussions of passageways and whatnot. If he spent much of his time in the archives here, maybe we can find something that will lead us into a backtrace of where he may have been coming from.
Very true, very true. Maybe we could also take a glance at his room as well. Maybe there's something.
Plan to get as much information as quickly as possible. I don't think that many people will take too kindly to us snooping, but we do need to obtain what information we can.
Very true, very true. Let us begin and see what we can find.
Okay, you guys head up there. Let me jump down to the cave, guys, real quick. Sorry, I'm going to bounce back and forth a bit here. You guys, the cave is not like a secret or anything, so it's not hard to find it. It appears as you're approaching kind of small, like just a small cave in the side of the mountain there. There seems to be a lot of footprints inside. You've already heard some people talking. It seems to be a somewhat popular place to relax without scrutiny. as you are coming down the stairs, you pass Kage, who seems to be leaving the cave. Um, when you get to the cave entrance, you still hear, still hear the smell. You still smell pipe smoke. It seems like Kagi was probably takes breaks down there to smoke a pipe. Nothing illicit or anything like that. Just a place to relax and get away from, the hustle and bustle of the castle proper. Um, the cave has a wide entrance, but draws to a close after 30 or so feet. Um, there are a few pipe ashes and scraps of paper on the ground, but these appear to simply be debris from students and others that come here to gain moments of solitude. Several boulders line the sides, with one very large one at the end. Um, let me check something here real quick. Who's down there?
Get a whole
Kage
cave
and
smoking at
Kage
work,
and
that's
Kashimura.
What did you say, Kashi?
Said they get a whole cave to smoking at work. That's pretty boss.
You guys both have vigilance of 3, right?
That's
What
a
if
very good question, and one that I surely know. Right off the top of my head, too. Yes, 3.
Okay. Walking into the cave, you notice that the boulder in the back of the cave looks to be artificially placed. It sort of, it's a slight difference, but to somebody that's not actively investigating the room, they probably wouldn't think anything of it. But it's definitely not something that was originally part of the cave or something that fell there. It seems to have been placed.
It's the Legend of Zelda scuff marks by the wall and stuff.
Yeah.
Kage's a little more relaxed than I thought he would be. What do you make of that business over there on the wall, Kage? Oh, that's confusing.
Yeah.
Kage and Kage.
Kage and Kage.
Well, one's spelled with a C-A-G-I, and the other one's spelled C-A-G-E. So it's Kage and Kage and
Kage.
Kagi. Yeah.
Kage and Kage.
Would air like analysis of skullduggery do anything to this?
I mean, you can look around more, but you've already noticed the boulder. It was an automatic sort of success because of you guys' vigilance being so high.
While he's doing that, can I look around and see if there's see who's chilling out down here?
There doesn't seem to be anybody in here right now.
Just Kage, huh?
You guys passed him on the way down, but yeah, just piecing it together. He just left, and you still had there's still not smoke, but the smell of smoke in the air, and you can see some of the ashes on the ground are relatively fresh.
I'm still going to note this down like a madman. Continue, Kage.
I was gonna try to investigate for a something else that's out of the ordinary, whether it be just something that's not normal, like a lever perhaps, or something that reminds me of, because it's strange that you have this boulder that is out of place, but at the same time so widely accepted.
If anyone knows about hidden compartments, it's this guy.
Yeah, there's nothing else really besides the boulder that looks like you could probably move it with some effort. But there doesn't seem to be anything like artificial about it that you can tell. Like it just somebody moved it here.
Kashimura.
In the middle of being salty about Kagi. What's up? What's going on?
Do you think we should try to possibly move the stone to see if there's anything behind it?
Are there markings that has been moved recently? Like within the last few weeks?
It's hard to tell. But with everything being stone, it's possible.
Seems like a good possibility to check if there's anything back there. Security risk and whatnot. He winks. Do we have to make a cover? Do you smoke? I'll go bum one off Kagi. Be right back.
Well, you can see some of the papers down here, just like notes, like like not everybody comes down here necessarily to smoke. Some people just come down here to, you know, some of it looks like you find like a couple of crumbled papers, and examining them, it looks like the same like poetry, like attempts, and then it's like crumbled up, it's no good, and then it's like almost the same thing but slightly different, and then they crumble that up, and like somebody was down here just in solitude trying to, you know.
It's the quiet place to go to.
Yeah.
I can dig that. Yeah, I'll be happy to give you a hand moving it. How big a boulder are we talking here?
Give me a TN3 fitness check. If you use water, it's 2, fire 5.
Water it is.
Can I assist you in that?
We'll adapt to helping each other.
Yes, you can definitely assist on this.
Alright, I have 1 rank in fitness. So get yourself 1 skill die, sir. It's Kage doing most of the work, he's just pushing like oh jeez. Wow.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you guys, I mean, it's up to you how much of that you want to keep.
Well, obviously, I fail, so.
Yeah. But you could fail
Do you want
with style.
Yeah, advantageously. Or
Yeah, I'll fail with style.
Okay. Not seeing any like obvious handholds on the boulder or anything. You try pushing it, and you definitely get the sense that with the two of you pushing on it, it moves very slightly. But with just the two of you, it's a little too tough for you to push by yourselves at this point. Like you just can't seem to get like good leverage or something. You're having a hard time. But it with the opportunity and with the one success, you get it to like budge just like, not even that it's visibly moved, but like you feel like a slight like as it gives just a bit.
just enough to give you hope.
Seems we've settled it into its place.
And then you realize like, oh, it's lefty loosey righty tighty. That's the problem.
Can is the crease big enough to like kind of lean in, peek in, and see what could possibly be on the other side of it? Give someone an opportunity, but stick an opportunity to poke me.
No, but you
Ah!
definitely get the sense like maybe coming down here with
Mhm.
more help might get you to be able to push this boulder out of the way. You know.
All right.
I must confess, Doctor, I've been skipping leg day, and I apologize. I'll try not to be a hindrance next time.
Back up at the room. Well, do you guys just want to keep hanging out in the cave, or do you want to go somewhere else? Because
Well, we're obviously not going to find anything else here.
Did anybody leave a stash here? We might chill.
not that you can see.
I would suggest finding, maybe mapping out the areas around leading to the Emerald Champion's rooms. Somewhere we have to be able to find something that possibly leads to passages or something.
And search around for like murder holes or something. Some of that stuff is sneaky. Like, speaking history-wise, like one method was poking a hole into the roof and dropping a thread down and dripping poison down it.
Yeah.
How do you find evidence of that?
Well, one of the things that probably the guys in the Emerald Champions rooms would have discovered is the little I forget what they're called, like robin floors or something like that. It's a bird.
Nightingale board?
Yeah, yeah. So they have that sort of thing where it's you step on it and it's made to creak like on purpose so that people can't sneak.
Oh,
around.
nightingale boards.
Yeah, yeah. You guys back up in the room. Most of the room has been cleared out already, probably by Ryu and other servants after the Emerald Champion's death. But there's still several papers and notes laying about, all in rich blue ink, with an elegant, graceful, like very studious writing style, along with Satsume's personal mon, as well as the mon of the Emerald Champion. Looking over the notes, it's very obvious that these are Satsume's notes. There's nothing of interest in these, but again, pretty sure everybody in this group has a vigilance of 3. You guys...
Mine's only a 2.
Oh, well, that's still good enough. I don't know why they put these rolls in here. Like, I don't know who would have a vigilance of 1. I guess somebody that's got a lot of void. I don't know. You guys notice one section of the painted art along the wall that doesn't seem to fit in with the rest. Depressing this spot opens up a small closet containing several shelves stocked with scrolls and papers. There's a dust-free spot on the shelf that seems to indicate that some of the scrolls are missing. All of the notes in this little like hidden cubbyhole are all handwritten notes concerning the worrisome state of the Emerald Empire, and they are all in the same style as the ones that you found earlier, written by Satsume. On another shelf, you find some tiny feathers.
Like, can you take a look at the feathers and see what's out there?
Yeah, give me a TN1 design earth check or a labor earth check.
He said TN1 Earth
Yeah,
design.
design or labor.
I'll gladly do that. I have feel like I should be pretty competent in design with that. It's something I actually decided to take for a character.
Sounds good.
You're all right with that, Kodo?
Yeah, of course. I'll assist. So you take one more ring die.
Alright, it's TN1 Earth Design. Hey, it actually did it. Well, I'm going first. Go. So it's a TN1, so I'm just going to keep the two from the original there, use the opportunity to eliminate the strife without taking it, and reroll the one extra for that explosive and see what happens. And I will keep the bonus success and take the strife from it. So
Okay.
2 successes.
Okay. The feathers appear to be from chickens. And I'll say with the bonus success, they seem to be what's the word I'm looking for? Like relatively clean. Like they're not like wild chickens or something that was found hunting or something. They're definitely like quote unquote like kept chickens.
They're domesticated.
Yeah. I don't know if there are wild chickens, but whatever.
So we have chicken feathers, a hidden closet, missing information, and a dead emerald champion. I think maybe... Oh, there's the hennery that is on the bottom level of the castle outside of here.
Sounds like a pretty good lead to go from here. Akoto will look at the closets more, and two things he wants to note. By chance, can you see what the outline of the undisturbed dust or the blank dust? Can you kind of tell what the object might have been there from the outline of the dust?
It looks like it was probably a few scrolls. It's hard to be 100% sure with it just being the outline of the dust, but like you can see the other little like stacks or individual scrolls like are all basically the same size and shape. The little scroll like not container, but like the sort of thing that they're wrapped around. It has that same sort of like they have like a metal like a roller that they go on. These scrolls, the ones in this room. So like you see like this sort of like T or I shape in the dust.
Sounds good. And when you said the notes were worrying about the state of the empire, like, is there anything particular that stands out they say about the empire?
Nothing in particular at this point. It's sort of all over the place. Just general like nothing blatantly like treasonous at this point. But it's definitely like, hey, there's some shit going on, and it's kind of vague. Without more there's definitely like indications of something else going on, but whoever, it's one of those things like you're listening in sort of on half of a conversation without the full context of everything, so it's not all making sense, but it's just general, and it could just be like, hey, this person's not doing a very good job, but whoever these sort of notes are for or to, maybe the missing scrolls would fill in the gaps. About what specifically he's talking about in the notes that you're looking at, but it's hard to say without more information.
Only one other thing I'd like to do on this closet before we potentially get discovered. I mean, it's going to leave some kind of trace that someone was in there, but just in case there could be another level to this. A little bit of smoke or dust might go a long way to indicating that there's some type of crevice or passage or whatnot. So I'd like to just momentarily light the smoking pipe that's in in the travel pack and just one good deep inhale on it and just kind of breathe out to see if it moves odd, because it's a common tactic for finding, gaps in passageways.
That is a good idea. But as you stand in the middle of the closet, like blowing the pipe smoke out, there doesn't seem to be any other passageways or anything from here. It sort of like blows back out from like the open windows in the rest of the room. Like there's nothing, no gaps or secret passages or anything in the closet.
Okay. I'm going to grab a couple of those feathers on the shelf and I guess make my way out, just because chickens are a very specific breed and they're very prized in certain cultures, so might actually be able to match a feather to a bird type if we get to the henry.
All right, heading out.
We'll close the secret door again, and because they say Omoya Yari-san. It seems that something had the Emerald Champion's ire, or at least some concern.
It definitely doesn't feel like things are in the best of states. Maybe we should make our way down and possibly regroup with the others, or make our way to that henry and see if we can find something in that area.
I agree. Should we try to meet up with the others or head straight down to the henry?
Might be good to converge at this point and, share notes and thoughts of, what was found on either end.
Sounds good. Are we allowed to? Are magistrates in training allowed to take items from the Emerald Archives, like say to study and stuff?
More than likely, you'd probably have to talk to somebody in there to make sure, but it shouldn't be a problem.
Because we will do that, and we'll grab histories of past conflicts around the region.
Okay. Yeah. As you guys go into the archives, another area of the room, you do find several scribes that are sort of off in a corner writing out copies of legal documents. They're sitting there with like one document on one side and then another one, and they're glancing and very meticulously copying it very slowly, just getting everything down as close as possible. You also see Kagai. You know what? I'm gonna make it Kagai, so that it's different enough from Kagi. He's in the room. He doesn't notice your arrival at first, as he assembles a pile of scrolls laying on the floor. He looks up, and you can make out a sad smile on his face, which fades quickly as he becomes properly expressionless. Still some of the magistrate's scrolls to return to the Emerald Archives. They never seem to make it up the stairs and onto the shelves on their own, he says. Just like their master, filled with secrets and always disappearing and reappearing somewhere else, though without so much painful effort.
I'd like some assistance with that, sir.
No, I've got it. Thank you for your assistance, though. How's the training going?
So far, so good. You seem to have made quite an impact this morning.
Good. It's good. Well,
How are you holding up, sir? I can imagine with everything that's been happening, you probably haven't had a chance much to breathe yet.
No, work, and then I have to stop and answer questions for, new Topaz Emerald Magistrates, pointing out where they need to go, them showing up late, telling me tall tales of ogres and oni and giants in the hills, All in a day's work.
Yes, true. And don't forget the stories of sea monsters as well.
Yes, the
That
Kraken.
somehow appear on land.
Giant octopus on land. Wood sharks.
Damn those land sharks.
Is there anything else I can help you with before I continue cleaning up this mess?
I'm actually looking for something about the recent battles in this region. I understand that I probably won't get an opportunity to study the history around this area anytime soon. And I was wondering if there might be any particular item you would recommend.
We haven't had too much go on around here in recent years, but over there, feel free to, if you would like a copy of something, just let the boys over here know. They can make a copy for you. It will take some time, but it's what they're there for.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And because they would give a deep bow.
He bows back and wanders off. You see him putting like some scrolls away.
All right, now we got plausible deniability.
So you guys are heading to meet up with the rest of the group?
Yeah, see if we can come across them and share information gained and thoughts.
You guys left the cave. What were you doing in the meantime?
Hmm?
You guys left the cave. You guys just want to meet up, or is there something that you wanted to check out before the rest of your party meets up with you?
No, I'm good to meet up.
Okay.
Well, actually, while we have some time away from other people, I don't want it to become a tear or anything, as it appears we're going to be working together for quite some time. I've had this strange feeling, and I've heard a few whispers. Normally it's not my business to judge gossip and the like. It does create a concern in regards to the well-being of our little troop, does the quote fingers. So why did the Ruby gaze at your arms when she said that? And what happened to be constantly whispered about? Something that would terrify me.
Kage, rigid for a moment. The bracers I wear, of course, are of unicorn craftsmanship.
Mm-hmm.
It is whispered that I was sworn to protect someone and failed in my duties. Perhaps even that I was responsible for their
Verbatim.
death.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You mustn't trouble yourself with such whispers. Truly figments of wild imaginations. These were a gift.
Makoto, sincerity. Samurai's words and his actions are one and the same. To promise would be to redundant. You're telling me straight face to face that you had nothing to do with that. That was against your own will.
asking the Scorpion clan to follow the tenet of Bushido about
I know. I know. This fucking guy. It's the new cop. He knows all the numbers and shit and everything. Be honest with me. He opens his mouth. Liar! Go ahead.
I had nothing to do with the demise of the person in question.
Well, that's all I needed. Smiles, pats him on the shoulder. Let's go meet with the others and see if they're a little bulkier. Can possibly move this thing.
Follows Kashimura out, sheathing his wakizashi.
As you guys finish your conversation and get to the top of the steps for the cave, you see Kazuya and Kyo coming around the corner, having been directed to the general area where you guys are at. You see them sort of coming out of the building, looking around, looking for you guys. Not 100% sure where you're at, but they catch a glimpse of you down like the sort of walkway that leads to the stairs, and you guys meet up there on sort of the cliff top. And it is a fantastic view from up here. You can see once again there's like a few places, even at the top of the steps, like that. It seems like there's a few like footprints and like depressions in the ground where probably people just come here for the view and the relative solace.
Everybody look east and take a deep breath.
So you guys link back up. What would you like to do?
Kyo, so mention you two look like you found a fox in the hen house. What's going on?
Well, we did find something juicy. It was in the cave. Number one, Kagi was walking out of there. Apparently he's a smoker. And there's this place that we noticed that had seemed to be like a secret door or something. But there's this big rock in the way, and we were unable to move it.
Kodo and I had
Was he just quiet as fuck to me, or is that like everyone else?
No, I turned his volume back up. Kashimura has a tendency to not be able to control the volume of his voice, so.
Is it still bad?
No, it's better now.
Alright. I have to get intimate with my microphone, or else you can't hear me. I'm sorry.
we didn't find any type of passageways or anything of that like, but we had some questioning and a brief conversation. Apparently our departed lord was found at night, but they found him cold and rigid, which would indicate that he had been that way for several hours.
Yes, and they mentioned that his health was failing him towards the end.
One question that I did not want to voice around so that I had while Akoto and I were, speaking with him and snooping. He seems like a very knowledgeable man. He's very fervent in his duty to his lord. One curiosity I have is how would a man who visits his lord's quarters several times a day not find him before he did?
Very good question.
How far into the night was it that he was discovered? Like, where would that put the time of death?
Even if he was found, speaking from pure medical knowledge, even if he was found late into the night, almost the early morning, he would have been that way for somewhere 6 to 10 hours, possibly more. It takes several hours for a body to go cold and rigid.
So it was into the late evening, maybe.
We didn't find any type of passageways, but we did find a closet full of scrolls musing about issues with the Empire.
Hmm?
Yes, they were signed in his personal and Emerald Champion's bond, and a very deep, rich blue ink. And it looked like there were some scrolls that were missing.
Side note, our departed lord had beautiful penmanship.
Yes, exquisite.
I'd be interested in going over that and taking a look myself.
The only other 2 clues that I could give to anything that we found was, well, 2 of them are connected. Our friend Rio, who we've come across, has been in and out a few times today, arrived early this morning, and is gone as of right now. There were a few scrolls missing in this hidden room, and we also found what appear to be chicken feathers.
Perhaps we should see if we can match those feathers to anything in the Henry.
I grabbed 2 of them so that we could do so.
That should be fun.
Out of game talk here, if anyone, I've been keeping notes on what we found up top and whatnot. If you want me to make a copy of it, I'll have a copy of just taking notes on. I've just named it Notes on the Satsuma Investigation.
Got notes.
I'd like to take notes.
There is, under the players thing, there's a player's notes that everyone should have access to. If you click edit, you can type whatever you want in there. But
Oh, hello.
I would recommend,
Aha.
having one person be in charge of updating that or something. That way, not everybody's trying to edit it. I don't know what that'll do to Roll20 if 5 people try and edit it at the same time.
Make it explode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna copy and paste over what I have typed out. I also noted, boulder in the cave that seems like it can be moved at the bottom of it.
You have a way of words.
So do you guys want to go back to the boulder, or do you want to head to the Henry?
Let's take a look at the birdies first.
Okay.
Ooh, ornithology. Let's do this.
Quick note to the party as well. The first things I put on the notes to the investigation was semi-privileged information of me speaking with my clan lord, but it may be relevant to what we have. Lord Satsume was rather removed from his daughter and barely spoke to her after her mother died, but it was not an uncommon thing. They apparently did not have the greatest of relationships, so it may be something to keep in mind into our further prying and investigation.
I like prying.
Yeah, how do I make it go away now?
I put you had it all in the title. I put it in the actual, if you scroll down, there's a description and notes. You can put it in there, and it's like a big old text box instead of putting it all in the name. Should be a little easier to read. Heading to the Henry.
Henry it shall be.
The Henry
Sounds good.
is a small wooden structure with a sloped roof and straw scattered across the floor. Feathers twirl in the wind around the building, and the smell of feed grain is thick. Approaching, you can hear a cacophony of clucking hens inside. The door opens, and an elderly peasant emerges. Bowing, but appearing very happy to see you. Ah, honored samurai, I'm so happy someone is here to investigate this terrible tragedy.
What tragedy do you speak of?
The death of my chickens, of course.
It's a matter of utmost importance. Of course, we would come here post haste.
Yes, I've been complaining about this for quite some time. Like several of my chickens just died for no reason, as far as I can tell. There was nothing wrong with them before, and then I come out and they're dead.
Dead and eaten, or just dead?
Just dead.
Oh. That's fascinating.
Yes. Well,
Like,
it's been a while
Wait.
since anyone's come and visited me here, so it's nice to have someone. The Emerald Champion would sometimes come here and discuss, the birds. He seemed quite interested in it. The weather, the quality of the eggs. Chicken stuff.
are they? Do you have the bodies still here now?
No, of course not.
Uh,
That would be dirty.
How long ago did the chickens die?
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Hmm.
Was it like just recently?
Well, if people would have listened to me, they perhaps could have foresaw the tragedy that befell the Emerald Champion. They died the day before he did, an ill omen.
Huh. And did they die in their sleep, or were they out and about?
No, they were in the Henry. It was shortly after I fed them. I'd feed them in the morning, and I feed them, later in the day for the night. And I went to sleep and came out the next day, and they were just dead in their little cages.
Did you by chance feed them the same thing you have